Transitions make the flow from one clip in your video to another clip in your video to be beautiful and to have a continuous, dramatic and amazing flow. One of the things that help to pass across the idea of your video is the transition. And so it's very important to know how to add transitions to your video, how to select the right transitions that will make your video come out beautifully well. In this lesson, you're going to be learning everything about transition, how to use the Capcut transition in your video, and also how to create your own kind of transition. You can decide to create a type of transition that is not on Capcut and it comes out beautifully well. And so in this lesson, I'm going to be showing us how to use Capcut transitions and also how to create your own transition. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into the Capcut app and edit. So first, let me show us what transition is all about and how to apply transition in your video. The first thing you should do when you want to apply transition is to open up Capcut app, which I just did. The second step is to click on new project, which I'm going to do right now. When you click on new project, it's going to open up your different videos and photos in your mobile phone. So the third step is for you to import your footage into your editing app. I already downloaded some footages from Pixel. I already told us where I download my stock footage, videos and pictures. So I already downloaded them from Pixel, so I'm just going to click on them and then add them to my editing timeline. That is the third step. Import your footages into your editing timeline. Now, this is the videos that I want and I would want to apply transition. Transition is simply how the first video is going to move into the second video. How do I want it to move into the second video? So if I want it to move gradually, or I want it to move slowly, or I want it to move quickly, or I want to give it a different appearance, I'm going to use transition section. Now, transition section is this section where you have your white block with your black mark inside it. This symbolizes transition. So how do I want my video to move from the first into the second scene? I don't just want it to move all of a sudden. I want it to move smoothly, come from different angles, act in different ways. I just want to add some life to it, right? So that is where I would go to click on it and then use the transitions that are available. Capcut already has different transitions available in this app, so we're going to explore it and see how that works. So what I'm going to do now is to click on this white box and it brings me to transitions. Now there are different available transitions in Capcut and you can explore any of them anytime, any day. Remember the steps we've already taken. Open up your Capcut, open new project, import your footage into your timeline. And the fourth step is to improve the quality of your videos. I like to do that first before I even start applying any effect or transition. And I do that because I do not want to split after I've already finished. I do not want to edit the total quality of the video after I already finished splitting. Imagine that I split this video at this point, and I come again and split this video at this point, and I come again and split this video at this point because I want to probably remove some details that I don't want. Now it's going to make it difficult for me to change the total effect. And I come and click on this and I go to my filter. And I go to my filter and add a filter, or go to my adjust and increase the saturation. That saturation might just apply to this, okay? Except I click on apply all, but it will make me to do it one by one, and then it's just going to take a whole lot of time. So instead of waiting for me to split first before I start working on the filter, I just try to adjust all of them first. Sorry, working on the adjust section. I try to adjust all of them first before I split. So that is the first step when you import your videos. Adjust the quality, increase the volume if you need to, if it's a voice video, increase the volume and also add beauty to your video. Then you can now start splitting. When you split, you're cutting off the excessive parts, right? Now, assuming there's an excess here, I just want to split, and then delete these smaller parts that I don't want. Good. I've seen that there's now a transition icon here, meaning that these are two different footages now. There were one before, but I've already splitted it. So I can add a transition here so that it doesn't just move instantly to the next thing, but it moves in a grand style, right? So now let's explore the different transitions in Capcut. That is the next thing that we want to do now. So I'm going to click on this icon here where I have my white block with a black eye inside. When I click on it, it's going to bring me to this place where there are different transitions in Capcut. There are many of them to explore. So what you could do to learn them yourself is to come and click on each of them one after the other, because time will not permit us to do that in this class. I don't want this video to be very long. So you're just going to try them out yourself and then see how they work, right? see how they work, and then know which one you want. So this is the transition I just applied. Let's see how it goes. Good. So the transition is moving from this scene to another scene in a different manner. So whether you're editing a video, a commercial art, a YouTube video, any video at all, you can move from one scene to another scene smoothly. You can move from one scene to another scene in a grand style. You can move from one scene to another scene with a specific direction on how you want it to go. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can apply any of these transitions you see here. So this is also another transition that we can explore. See that? So it brings out a black smoke. You can also use a white smoke. So there are many of them, ranging from camera effect, camera transition to effect transition, to social media transition, to MG transition, to slide transition, and then to max transition. So there are a couple of them that you can always explore. Now the next thing you need to know about transition is that you can detect the number of seconds. You can tell the number of seconds you want that transition to occur or to happen. So if I want it to happen for 0.1 second, I set for 0.1 second, so it's just going to be very fast. See that? If I want it to be longer, I'll still come and adjust it to 1.7 seconds. That means the transition is going to last longer. See, this lasted longer than the other one, so I can choose how long I want it to last, but the maximum available is just 2 seconds. So I choose my transition, that's 1 for my transition. I choose the number of seconds I want it to last, that's 2. Now number 3 is that you can actually apply this transition to every transition point. So now look at this video. There's a transition here, but there is no transition. What I mean is this: there's a transition icon here, but we've not added any transition to it. There's another transition icon here, but we have a transition that we've added, which is the black smoke, right? Now there are other places where there could be need for transition. Let's say there is a split point here, there's another split point here. So we have different places where there are transition icons. Now assuming we want to put transitions here, and we want them to be the same transition, you can actually make that happen. But if you want it to be different transitions, you click each of them and select the transition you want for each of them. But let's assume that you want the transition to be similar for every single point where there's a transition icon. We are going to come to this section where there is apply to all, right? And we are going to click on it. Once we click on this apply to all, it's going to apply the transition to every single place in this app. It's going to apply the transition. Let's say let's select bubble blur, right? And let's put the seconds at 1.6 seconds. Now I'm coming to click on this icon. Remember that it's just this point that has the transition, just this point. But I'm going to click on this apply all section so that it can apply to every point where there is transition icon. So I click on apply all, and we see that it has applied this transition to every single transition point. So you're just going to apply bubble blur. Let's see how it goes. You see, this is the first transition. This is the second transition, blurring it out still. This is the third transition, blurring it out still. And it's going to the final transition, blurring it out, bubble blur. So I've applied it to all. So that is how you can do that. So 3 steps in your transition: click on the transition icon, select the transition you want, set the length of time you want it to last depending on what the video is talking about and what effect you want to get with the transition. Then thirdly, apply it to all if you want it to apply to all, or select the icons individually and explore the different transitions you have and apply to them. So that is that for transition, that is that for Capcut transition. I'm now going to show us how to create your own personalized transition, even without exploring, even without using this transition. You can actually create your customized transition from your own way. Okay, things that you cannot find in this particular transition, because these are limited, just have a couple of them, but you might want something extra than this. So I'm going to show us how to create those other extra unique transitions for yourself and for your videos. Hope you learned something in this. Make sure you go practice, apply the transition, see how it goes, apply the different transitions, set your timer, and then get it to fix a beautiful video. Once you apply that, send me the video so I get to watch and make corrections. Well done. I'll see you in the next lesson.
Hope you understood clearly the lesson on transitions. I want you to go and create a video and include different Capcut transitions in that video to practice and learn what transition is all about. If you enjoyed this lesson, I want you to hit YouTube right now and follow me at Fatemba. There on YouTube, I'm going to be showing us different examples of transitions that have been created in movies, that have been created in different videos, and have been used by different YouTubers and different content creators in their videos. So to learn more
samples of branded and special transitions, make sure to follow me on YouTube, subscribe, and then you get more of it there. So I hope you learned this. I want you to practice it and you become perfect in it. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to check out the next lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson.